There's a strange kind of loneliness that most people never talk about. It's not the loneliness of being alone in a room. It's the loneliness of being surrounded by people and still feeling utterly unseen. It's the loneliness of understanding everyone around you with painful clarity while feeling like no one has ever truly understood you back. You know the type. Maybe you are the type. The person who can read a room in seconds, who notices the micro-expressions, the things left unsaid, the tension hiding beneath polite smiles. You're the one people come to when they need to be understood. And you do. You always do. But here's the cruel irony. The better you become at understanding others, the more invisible you become to yourself. You're at a gathering and you're watching. You see the person in the corner forcing laughter because they're anxious. You notice the couple whose smiles don't reach their eyes anymore. You sense the friend who's about to cry but won't. You absorb all of it, every unspoken word, every hidden feeling. And then someone asks how you're doing, and you smile and say, "I'm good," because you've learned something that people who understand too much always learn. Most people don't actually want the real answer. They want the easy one, the one that doesn't require them to sit with discomfort to truly see you the way they see them. So you stay on the surface, you stay safe, you stay alone. Psychologists call this empathic accuracy, the ability to correctly infer another person's thoughts and feelings. Studies show that people high in empathic accuracy are often more socially successful, better communicators, and valued friends. But here's what the studies don't always mention. Those same people report feeling significantly lonelier than those with average empathy levels. Why? Because understanding is not the same as being understood. And when you spend your entire life being the one who understands, you forget how to ask to be seen. It starts young, usually. Maybe you grew up in a household where you had to read the emotional temperature to stay safe. Maybe you learned early that love was something you earned by being perceptive, by anticipating needs, by never being a burden. Children in these environments develop what researchers call hypermentalizing, an overactive ability to interpret others' mental states. It sounds like a superpower, and in many ways it is. But like all survival mechanisms, it comes with a cost. You become so focused on everyone else's inner world that you lose touch with your own. And as you grow older, this pattern deepens. You become the friend everyone calls during a crisis, the coworker who mediates conflicts, the partner who always knows what's wrong before it's even spoken. People praise you for it. They call you intuitive, emotionally intelligent, wise beyond your years. But no one ever asks, who holds space for you? Because when you're good at understanding, people assume you don't need to be understood. They assume your emotional intelligence means you figured it all out, that you're somehow above the need for the same depth of connection you offer everyone else. But that's not how it works. The more you understand, the more you crave being understood, because you know exactly what it feels like to be truly seen, and you're painfully aware that you rarely experience it yourself. This creates a devastating loop. You don't ask for help because you assume no one will understand. And because you don't ask, no one knows you're struggling. And because no one knows you're struggling, your loneliness deepens. And because your loneliness deepens, you become even more convinced that no one could possibly understand. So you retreat inward. You build walls disguised in self-sufficiency. But deep down, in the quiet moments when you're alone with your thoughts, you feel it. The ache, the exhaustion, the weight of carrying everyone else's emotions while yours sit untouched, unacknowledged, unseen. Let's talk about what this does to you over time. First, you start to lose your emotional vocabulary. You're so practiced at translating other people's feelings that you forget how to name your own. Second, you develop relational fatigue, the exhaustion that comes from constantly being the emotional anchor for others, while never dropping your own anchor anywhere. Third, and perhaps most damaging, you begin to believe that love is conditional, that you are only valuable when you're useful, that if you stopped understanding, stopped being perceptive, stopped carrying others, you would be abandoned. And here's the darkest part. Sometimes you start to resent the very thing that makes you special. You resent your empathy because it feels like a burden. You resent your ability to understand because it sets you apart. Research from the University of Pennsylvania found that individuals with high emotional intelligence are more prone to rumination and anxiety. Why? Because when you can see so many layers of meaning, so many possible outcomes, so many hidden truths, your mind never stops working. It's exhausting, and it's lonely. But here's what I need you to hear. Your loneliness is not a flaw. It's not evidence that something is wrong with you. It's evidence that you've been giving from an empty well for too long. It's evidence that you need what you've been too afraid to ask for. Connection. Real connection. The kind where you're not the translator, where you can just be, and that's enough. So how do you get there? It starts with a radical idea. You have to stop assuming people can't handle your depth. You've been protecting others from your complexity for so long that you've forgotten some people actually want to know you. Not the curated version, not the helpful version, the real, messy, complicated version. This means learning to communicate your inner world. Even when it feels impossible, you have to practice saying, "This is what I'm feeling," not as a burden, not as a demand, but as an invitation. An invitation for someone to step into your world the way you step into theirs. It also means choosing your people carefully. Not everyone deserves access to your inner world. Not everyone has the capacity to meet you where you are, and that's okay. You're looking for someone who can hold space for your complexity without trying to fix it, simplify it, or dismiss it. Vulnerability is not weakness. It's the birthplace of connection. When you let someone see you, really see you, you give them the gift of mattering to you. And in doing so, you create the very connection you've been craving. This doesn't mean you stop being empathic. It means you extend that same empathy inward. You start treating your own emotional needs with the same care you give to everyone else. Here are practical steps. First, create emotional checkpoints. Set aside time daily to ask yourself, what am I actually feeling right now? Not what you should feel, what you actually feel. Name it. Let it exist. Second, practice micro-vulnerabilities. Start small. Share one real thing. I'm feeling overwhelmed today. I could use some support. See how they respond. If they show up, share a little more. Third, set boundaries around your empathy. It's okay to say, I care about you, but I don't have the capacity to hold this right now. Your empathy is not a limitless resource. And fourth, make peace with the fact that most people will never understand you the way you understand them. This isn't a judgment of them. It's just the reality of being someone who sees more, feels more, understands more. But that doesn't mean you have to be alone. It just means your connections will look different, deeper, rarer, more intentional. Carl Jung said, loneliness does not come from having no people around you, but from being unable to communicate the things that seem important to you. For those who understand too much, loneliness is not about being alone. It's about being surrounded by people who only see the surface, who only know the version of you that's easy, helpful, undemanding. But you are not your usefulness. You are not your perceptiveness. You are a full, complex human being who deserves to be known, not just needed. So here is my message to you, the one who sees everything, the one who carries everyone, the one who has spent a lifetime understanding while feeling misunderstood. You are not too much. Your depth is not a burden. Your sensitivity is not a weakness. And your loneliness, as painful as it is not evidence that you're unlovable. It's evidence that you've been giving the wrong people access to you. Start now. Start small. Start messy. But start. Let someone in. Not the whole world, just one person. And give them the chance to surprise you. To prove that not everyone will misunderstand. That someone somewhere is capable of meeting you where you are. Because the truth is this. The loneliness of understanding too much only ends when you stop hiding how much you need to be understood. And that's not weakness, that's courage. Stop translating yourself into something digestible. Stop shrinking your complexity to fit into small conversations. Stop pretending you don't need what you've been getting away for free. You deserve to be seen. You deserve to be known. You deserve to rest in the presence of someone who finally understands. So ask, speak, show them the parts of you that you've kept hidden, not all at once, but slowly, carefully, honestly. Because at the end of all this understanding, all this perception, all this loneliness, there's a simple truth. You were never meant to carry the world alone. You were meant to be known deeply, fully, without explanation. And that kind of connection, it's not a fantasy. It's just been waiting for you to believe you deserve it.